Hi, this is Matt with LSAT Cracked. In this lesson, we're going to discuss weakening question stems. Now, they sound like the exact opposite of strengthening question stems, and of course they are. But just as we saw with must be true and must be false question stems, opposites, the same exact skill is being tested. So if you improve on one of them, you are absolutely going to improve on the other one. The number one key theme, just as we dealt with strengthening question stems, is that you want to realize the LSAT writers are going to reward you for being able to indirectly weaken a conclusion. Let's look at this in the context of a cause and effect or an explanation style stimulus. Okay, let's just put it in context for a second. We read the stimulus, we identified the conclusion, we articulated to ourselves why it's a flawed argument, why those premises do not mandate this conclusion. In the context of cause and effect or explanation, we observe something, an effect, if you will, and we read the conclusion and they claim they somehow know with certainty or what's probably the cause or the explanation of that observed phenomena. It's always a bad argument on the LSAT. They never know what a cause is. They never know that it's the explanation. There's an infinite number of other causes or other explanations that could be the real explanation or the real cause. So it's always a bad argument. The number one way you weaken an argument is you introduce another plausible cause. So if you're the defense lawyer and I'm the prosecution and I claim that your client Jones is definitely the murderer, you don't try and weaken my argument, generally speaking, you don't try and weaken my argument on the LSAT by showing me how Jones couldn't have committed the murder. I mean, of course, if that's present as an answer choice, it's obviously right, but it's too easy. It's too direct. It's too on the nose. It doesn't require an incoming lawyer level brain to see that, so it's too easy for the LSAT. You need to be more attuned to introducing another suspect. Let's say Roger, who could have potentially also committed the murder. Well, now we have two possible suspects. Now my case as the prosecutor that your client definitely committed the murder, it's become indirectly weakened because now there's an alternate cause. That's the number one thing they can do to weaken an argument. And as a reminder, you should already know this from our previous lesson on cause and effect, the other two ways to weaken an argument are to show me another situation where you have the proposed cause occurring and yet we don't see the proposed effect. A third way is to show no cause, the cause is missing, but yet we still see the effect. In both of these cases, it's a disjunction, a disjoint between cause and effect. You're seeing one, either the cause or the effect, but without the other one. It's sort of separating the two of them, thus attempting to break the link. And here's a reminder. On a weakening question stem, you want to make sure that you're always aware of something that's very rare, but when it happens, it's super powerful. Very rarely, they're going to give you an answer choice that's going to directly contradict one of the premises that the argument was based on. And it's going to hit you in the face like a stack of bricks. You'll be like, wait a second, I literally thought they told me X was true, and that was a key part of their argument. Answer choice C is now saying X is not true. Well, the question stem says, which one of the following, if true, would most weaken the argument? That clearly weakens the argument, so it's correct. That's very rare. In general, they're going to give you something that indirectly weakens the argument. And I want to leave you with one final thought for both strengthening and weakening question stems. They are the question stem that most rewards your ability to be patient, to stay with each answer choice for 2 or 3 seconds longer than normal, and to really seriously consider each one. You're going to sometimes on hard problems have something that initially sounds like it might be off topic. But what it might be doing is it might be indirectly weakening by bringing in an alternate cause. Or it might be describing something that occurred in the stimulus with a slightly broader object class than what was used. But if it applies to all objects in that class, it also applies to the thing you were talking about. So the general point is be a little bit more patient with these. Don't just have a snap judgment that says this is definitely off topic. Carefully consider each one, and if you can explain to me and explain to yourself why it truly is off topic, relative to the scope of the conclusion, then you're on the right track. Good luck.